So TikTok took down my video about organ transplants. Of course it did. I was listening to the audiobook about the video I put up that they took down, which was a book called The Red Market, because that's what it is, the red market, organ harvesting. Helps when you have an open border. This goes back to, but this is, I don't even know why TikTok is playing games with this. Harvard is known back in the day for having a secret society of medical students that would do grave robbing. How do you think medical students get the real cadavers and the real skeletons? Well, that went on back in the day, but a lot of it came from Pakistan. Yeah, from India, where they did grave robbing there. Total international cartel of doctors and just criminals that see it as a moneymaker. So this author of The Red Market referred to it as blood socialism, marketing human bodies, bone marrow. You can't buy an organ, but can merge it into the transplant bill. So although you go to these big, pretty university hospitals that have transplant services, they can't give you the organ, but they merge it all into the bill. Because it's very specific, you know, like you shouldn't just be disregarding human life. But part of the problem is we here in the West has such a desire for living forever, that it's the reason why the cabal of organ trafficking goes on. So every corpse is a stakeholder reduced to parts. Funeral homes will sell body tissues. Even nursing homes they use nursing homes to traffic organs. They traffic pituitary glands to harvest for growth hormone. It's a whole supply chain. They see it as, the grave robbing they see as a necessary, like for the bones, for medical schools, they see that as a necessary evil. Buying bodies before they're dead. And then it says here, this is due to the West's unquenchable desire for immortality. They will, they'll kidnap children and kill them for their bones. The fake bones for, like in the classroom or in a doctor's office, they don't work as well, I guess, especially in the classroom, because they don't show all the details of a real bone, so that's why the universities don't like it. It's an international, as I said, an international cabal of doctors involved. Actually, there used to not be such thing as patient rights as far as you having anonymity, but when transplants came along, that's when that came in. Because many people that were receiving an organ from a donor, they wanted to know who it was to thank them. Like if it was a living donor, somebody say that's giving a kidney, or even to know the family if it was somebody that had died. But it's the hospital systems that won't allow that to be known. How nice. And then how they hide behind it is saying, well, it's patient privacy and anonymity. That's the same thing they do with the kids in the state system, is they say, they're minors, we have to protect them, even though they're in a system that does not protect them. So that's something that needs to go. Anonymity is, as I said, is new to healthcare. It came in, I think the 50s, is that when transplants came in. So healthcare won't disclose who the donors are or who the receivers are to either party. It's in this book, they described it as a neo-cannibalistic demand for organs that journalists and academics know about. We can blame our own vanity. The West worships medicine, and medicine gladly takes that worship. And the West, as I said, the desire for the West for immortality. It's big money, big medical centers, and it's organ harvesting. Most transplants only last a few extra years, by the way. They usually need another organ transplant. So in Pakistan, some Americans go there because it's cheaper, and they can get a 2-for-1 offer. So buy your first organ, get the second one half off, because you'll likely need a second after a few years. That's not a joke. Some people say the West needs to think more realistically about mortality. Hospitals advertise, and I see this, and people probably don't pay any attention to it, and it's always very sick to me when I see it, is the billboards. Like, I saw one, and I had done a video on my old TikTok channel. It was a children's organ transplant billboard for a children's hospital, like in Wisconsin, and I thought, why are you advertising that? But here in the West, that's seen as prestige. That's a prestige hospital. God, do we have our morals backwards or what? Kidneys go for $250,000, livers go for $500,000, a pancreas $175,000, intestines $1.2 million. As I said, Pakistan has a hospital there that's they rated along the lines of what an American hospital, and Americans will go there. Only wealthy, of course, that can afford it, because it's only the wealthy usually can afford transplants, or to go there and get one. And they will provide you the donor for you, and when the first organ fails after a few years, like most do, you are given a discount. Buy one, get the second half off. And diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure. So, well, that would explain, we have this massive diabetes problem that we didn't used to have. Then you find out the food pyramid has been nothing but a scam too, so that would explain why there's diabetes. And really, it just seems like all the people that were supposed to be handling medicine and health, well, they've just failed miserably. And yet, instead of owning up to that, they're still on their track, DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion track. They're still on their crime track. And, well, I mean, they can keep silencing people, but eventually you're not going to stop it from coming out. So the more you keep burying me, TikTok, or any of you social medias, there's somebody that knows what you're doing, and it'll just be worse for you in the end.